What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big John and G, the Two Gun Pixit presents Legendary Gaming! Alright, so I'm doing this intro real fast. Oregon Al just stepped out for a moment. He's going to be right back. And then we're going to give you our first impressions, our 20-sided shots of Restoration Games' Fireball Island, The Curse of Vul-Kar. Spoiler. We had fun. Alright, this is going to be a good one. Me and Alex, it's been a while. And we're going to sit down at the table, we're going to have some fun, we're going to talk about this, and hopefully you all enjoy it. Alright, sounds like he's on his way back, so we'll see you all down at the table. Alright, welcome down to the table. It's been a while since we did a 20-sided shots.
Yeah?
But we got finished playing the new Fireball Island.
Yeah, we did.
And The Curse of Vul-Kar. Wow. Did you ever play the original?
I never did.
See, I never did either. I remember the commercials for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was kind of phasing out of the board game stuff and just concentrating everything on RPGs at that time.
Gotcha.
So I remember the commercials thinking it looked great, it looked fun.
Yeah, I don't even remember the commercials. Like, I've seen them since.
This wasn't sold in Oregon at the time, that's why.
Yeah, there you go.
We hadn't had any roads inlaid for delivery service yet. No, but that's it. I mean, and it's not even like I have a lot of big, huge, vivid memories. I just know that I remember seeing the commercials and thinking, that looks fun, but I have limited amount of money, and I gotta go pick up the new second edition, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I've done the unboxing of this. The other unboxings are gonna come later this week.
Right.
Or later this month, each Wednesday. Next is gonna be the Rekka, the Crimson Cutlass, and then the two small box editions. But I already have it. That's all filmed. That's all uploaded, ready to
go.
To drop on schedule, right? So we had the chance today to play using everything. We didn't have to wait for the end of the month when I finished all these unboxings.
Oh, yeah.
Got ahead of schedule. Smart thinking.
Planning ahead. So
now let's just start off with the base game of this.
Yeah.
And the rule system and how it's set up. Neither of us played this before. What were your thoughts coming in?
I mean, I looked at the rules beforehand and I was like, oh, it's 5 pages. This is gonna be easy to play, and I was like, I don't know, we'll see how much fun it is. Like, it's cool that you have fireballs, but with 5 pages, sometimes those games can be a little simple and not a good way. That's what I thought coming into it. How about you?
I thought that there was going to be, this is before I looked at the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at the Kickstarter, which I didn't kickstart this. At the time, I didn't have the money to do it. I would have.
Oh, yeah.
If the timing was better. So I'd already been looking forward to it. I knew I was going to get this. So going into it, my first thought is, I bet this game is going to be really super fun to play once or twice, and then it's going to be like, I'm over it. But at the same time, I think those couple of times I play it, I think the fun factor is going to be out the window.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt. So I had some expectations high and some expectations low coming in.
Gotcha.
Now, when we just did the 2-player variant,
yep,
which I didn't really discuss that in the upcoming how to play.
Right.
But we're eventually going to do a full playthrough of this. Maybe we'll do a 2-player next time, but we definitely want to do 3 and 4. Maybe we're going to do a video playthrough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Alex started off.
Sorry.
Still got, some of that dust and smoke and ash from the island.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I started off, 2-player variant, we each have 2 characters, so I started off with one of my characters, and then we alternated going forward. And I decided, what the heck, let's go right for the Jewel of Vul-Kar.
The heart, he went right for it. No kidding around.
Not messing around. And, of course, John decided to follow me up there, too. So, yeah, those 2 guys ended up trading back and forth between the heart, and then later we got the idol.
You got it, and just like the heart I stole... Oh, there goes a snake. Just like the heart I stole it from you.
Yeah, so we were basically trading the idol and the heart back and forth, the entire game.
But that was the red guy that I was using from one of the expansions, and he kind of looks like Indiana Jones. So I was kind of hoping that by the end of the game I could have like no normal treasure. That he would have like the heart, he would have the idol, he'd have the lucky penny, a couple of the gems from the Crimson Cutlass expansion, a honey. I just wanted to have like one of all. That was my goal going in, and that was not easy. I didn't come close to making that goal.
Yeah, I mean, my strategy going in was like, oh, let's hit up these Vista points, these photo points. What are they called? Whatever, the
photo ops.
Yeah. I'm like, let's hit those up. They're worth like 5 a pop. What the heck? They're spread all over the island. So I ended up getting a ton of just like the normal little treasure shits in the game.
For the treasure slabs. That's what they call the spots there, treasure slabs.
Yeah, and that's really what put me over. Between that and just getting lucky and ending up with the heart and the idol and having the right card in my hand to get off the island. Yeah, I mean...
Because they're these cards, Cataclysm cards.
Mm-hmm.
And when you play them, they go down to the track. When the track gets filled to 3, you add on...
Another
fireball to the scar. And when it fills up with 4, or if you get 3 different color, one of each of the 3 different color snapshot areas, that's going to trigger the helicopter. It's like MASH. To come back in was it 2 turns, right?
Yeah, it comes back and then it leaves in 2 turns. So the game, basically there's 2 turns left until the game ends. You don't have to get on the helicopter.
But if you do opt to go on it, you get to draw treasure out of the maw.
Right. And the first thing that starts there is the lucky penny, which is worth 6 points.
6 points.
So, which is the second most valuable thing next to like the heart and the idol, which are worth 7. So that's like huge to get that.
It gives you incentive.
Yeah.
To want to be the first one in there, while at the same time, once you're in there, that character can't come back out and move. You can still play the effects on cards.
Right.
So you can still mess around with the other players, but you're not going to get a chance to go back out and get any more treasure, any more points.
Yeah, the survey cards are the other type. So there's action cards and survey cards. And the survey cards, that's what really saved me, because I had a park map, which let me...
Souvenir. You say
souvenirs.
Survey?
Yeah, I said souvenir. Sorry.
Souvenir cards.
Survey, souvenir, pretty much the same thing, right? And so I got lucky, and one let me just choose. When I went into a cave, I got to choose where I came out, rather than rolling for it, which let me just come out on the helipad. If I didn't have that card, who knows what would have happened. John easily could have gotten the treasures and ran away from me.
Yeah, left him 4 spaces away from the helipad, which is the rest of his movement.
Yeah, so, that was cool.
And I had Indy chasing you the whole time.
Yeah, you did. And then she was right by the helipad, so if I didn't have enough movement, you were going to...
Purple.
Yeah, you could have just stolen it and went onto the helipad, so...
I like, mostly, not all of them, sometimes it's the other cards, but mostly the Cataclysm cards give you the hand signal, which gives you the choice of turning Vul-Kar's head from one slot to the next in either direction, or you can move some of the trees, which is important because it changes what they call the route. It's like a pinball flipper.
Right.
They call it the route. And you can use it to block off other paths, but you can only do it to one tree.
Right. It's either turn the mountain or turn one tree. Yeah.
But it is strategic.
Yeah, it is, because you can turn that tree so that there's no possible way that the fireball can come down your path.
Yeah, and it does obviously work better with some of the tighter paths.
Yeah.
There are some wider ones that it might be able to get around. You just, got to be careful. But it is a nice strategy to add into the game.
I agree.
But okay, that's I think that's it for the core game. I mean, it looks beautiful. I also want to say the core game, just the job they did bringing this 3D board to life is hands down the best. This is the best looking board I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
Definitely. The 3D with the trees is fun. I love that.
Uh-huh.
And having Vul-Kar right in the center is amazing.
Yeah, Vul-Kar's super cool.
Now, since we played with the other expansions, the big box expansion is the, I got it right here, timber! This is the wreck of the Crimson Cutlass. This is a beached pirate ship.
Yeah?
That's off in the water.
Yeah.
Only me got a character over there.
I thought about it, but I was like, yeah, it's not really worth it, especially after you, stole all the crystals from the main part of it. And so the only place I could get the crystals from was the part where you could either drop fireballs or cannonballs on my head. So I was like, yeah, I think I'll pass.
That's why I wanted to get out of there so fast myself.
Yeah.
Because that very reason. Last thing I needed was cannonballs crushing my guy's skull, or girl's skull, woman's skull. Purple! Whatever.
Yeah.
It is a really fun addition to it. I don't think it's necessarily needed.
No.
But the expansion of having these extra places that you can get through any cave.
Yeah.
Because it has a 1, 2, and 3 entrance on it. So any roll you do will get you somewhere on the ship.
Right.
So you're guaranteed to get there if you want to get there. I like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it means that as long as you go to a cave, you can hop between the two boards. The crystals that it introduced were interesting. They're close enough together that you can get a lot of them, and they're worth 2 points apiece, rather than the treasure, which, they're worth exponentially more the more that you get, but it just...
Yeah, unless you have, if you have 2 or more of the same token, it's going to be worth 3 points.
Yeah.
So and that's all of them. So if you have 2 of them, each one is worth 3 points.
Right.
So actually, I don't think I did a good judgment call there, because you're only getting 2 points for the crystal.
Yeah.
So I don't think going for the crystals was a very smart move.
Yeah, it may not have been the best one.
But it looks good having these little crystal treasures with the character card.
And the Vista point there,
that was worth it.
Is worth 10 points rather than 5, the photo point. So that's huge.
Wreck of the Crimson Cutlass. With the card it comes with, that was worth it. The 10 points, yeah, definitely was.
Yeah.
But the crystals, I don't know. I kind of felt like, but it's the same. I was passing them anyway.
Right. I mean, you might.
So
as well
you're gonna grab them.
Yeah.
But to go there specifically, I guess is what I'm thinking. If you were gonna go there specifically for it, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, the advantage of going there is it means that if people want to attack you, they have to target you rather than when you're on this big board, when stuff goes off, you can get hit by there's the embers, and then if you're playing with the expansions, you have the snakes on half of the island.
We'll get to the 2 small expansions in a moment. We'll come to that next.
So there's just so many marbles that can fall on your head if you're on the main board, rather than on the other board, people have to really target you.
But on the other hand, if you've played cards to get the extra cannonballs into the crow's nest, I think that small space is more detrimental.
Oh yeah, it's more dangerous for sure. Yeah.
So I guess that means it's a nice balance, because with only the 1 cannonball in there, it's avoidable.
Yeah.
But when you get all 4 of them in there, I bet even just 3 of them is going to make it a little more dangerous than you'd want to be.
Yeah, I agree.
So now let's talk about the 2 small box expansions. We'll talk about them together. And that is the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Bees, and The Last Adventurer, which adds a 5th player. That's the biggest draw, I think, to that one, is the addition of the 5th player.
Yeah, it also adds the snakes, which I discussed, which are more little marbles. There's a lot of
tiny little green marbles.
And it seemed like every time we knocked an ember, at least one snake would come down too. So it's just another thing flying down the board.
And the island is shaking and it's disturbing the snakes, and one or two of them are always going to shoot out, even if you didn't play a card to poke a snake out.
Yeah. Well, and then like the cataclysms is just like that just knocks everything down.
Yeah.
Especially once you get like 3 or 4 balls in there, it's just like everything's coming down on the side of the board.
Now, if at the end of that action, one or more of those green marbles, the snake, is touching your character, you're going to get one of these poison tokens for each one touching you.
Yeah, that was super cool.
And that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Because you don't get to choose the action card you play. To get rid of, and you have to get rid of it on your next turn, you get rid of the first one. If you have more than one, you have to do it each turn.
Yep.
So you get rid of it, and then you have to randomly draw one of the action cards instead of playing one you were planning on.
Yeah, which I liked. I mean, I thought it was a little less mean than the bees, which were you got half your movement. So, I mean, it's between like having a choice and having half your movement. And there's cards with as low as like 4 movement. So
you got stuck that way. Didn't you get stuck with a 2 movement? Because it was a 4?
Yeah, so...
That's what the little yellow...
Yeah, I ended up with a bee and a snake, so they both triggered. So I drew blindly and had half movement, and it was a 4 movement.
That's when you got the 4.
Yeah, so it was just like, and that turd is down the drain. And worse off, I did it to myself. Like you didn't, I set the bees, and it knocked the snake and the bees into me. Yeah.
This was what you get to pour all of these.
Yeah, there's like 10 balls or something in there down into the volcano, and they just wreck havoc.
They swarm.
Oh yeah.
They swarm right out. I mean, definitely that is the proper word to use in this situation. And that's great to see because the fireballs, early on in the game it's just going to be one. So if you're going to have, something coming out of Vul-Kar, that's one. And it looks fun and it's great seeing it roll down and bang shit around, and it's awesome. It feels very satisfying.
Yep.
The more you have, the bigger the feel. But the bees, right off the bat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they just wreck havoc.
It's a hive full of bees coming right out.
Yeah.
That was the most fun seeing those, I think.
I think so too.
And that's it. Right?
Yeah, it added the extra abilities that you start with. So everyone starts with a special ability, such as when I take a snapshot, I draw a souvenir card.
I could start at the start of any of my turn. I can use a turn action, turn Vul-Kar, turn a tree, or with the wreck of the Crimson Cutlass, get to turn all 3 of the cannons.
Yeah. So that's a cool addition because it just adds something, makes everyone a little bit different.
The other one added in, or the pirate one, the wreck of the Crimson Cutlass, added in these dark secret things. I forgot what they called them, but these dark secret cards that you don't reveal until the end of the game. Like one of mine was reveal this card at the end of the game and score 10 points if you have more of the blue treasure tokens than anyone else. That'd be an extra 10 points right there. I think that I think the last adventurer, out of the 2 of them, I think the last adventurer most feels like it could have been part of the core game.
Yes. It added, I mean, yeah, I agree.
With the
boulder.
With the boulder and the snakes. And also
idol.
the fifth, the idol. Yeah, the idol treasure. That's cool. Idol, very Aztecian, Mayan, Aztec, Olmec. Well, I'm not sure, but it's one of those very South American arty style, very indie.
I think Olmec was the Legends of the Hidden Temple. I don't know that was a culture, but I could be wrong here.
No, there was an Olmec culture. We know very little about them, but yeah, anyway, we're not here to talk about the History Channel. No, I kind of feel that I'm not saying that it should have been part of the core.
No, but it fit right in. I mean, it was obvious that the first 2 expansions were designed when they designed the game because they had places for everything. They had the spots on the board for the snakes, and they had the spots on the board for the honey pots.
Well, actually, no. You take 3 of the treasures out.
Oh, you take 3 of the treasures out?
Yeah, it tells you specifically which 3, the 3 over here, you take out, and you put the honey pots in their place. Nice. Yeah.
Okay. I stand corrected then.
But yeah, the second one, I wasn't too crazy. I see you fiddling with it here.
Yeah,
I wasn't too crazy about the tiger. Well, I've never been crazy about dexterity games to begin with, and this adds a dexterity more so than the poking and the shoving of the of the amber marbles. Because I think doing something a little pool-like, a little billiards-like, is potentially a little bit easier than because you got to do this guy off the board and push his tail down to get just enough pressure for the release. And
we both did it at once, and
you got him on the island.
You got him on the island too. Yours was just, I mean, yours went up and down. Mine went like kind of football-like, but you can't aim it, so it's. I mean, I guess the point is it adds more chaos, so you can knock down the marbles.
Yeah, because it will cause more of that to happen. And I like the fact that the game adds in the fact that if you're doing one action, that causes different marbles to react. That counts.
Happens. Yeah.
You know, me and Alex very easily fell into the whole thematic guise of it as the island is shaking, so other things are going to happen.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I did see a little bit of hatred online about that. A few of the players didn't like it. The backers, kind of don't think that's fair. But very few from what I've seen. But still, it is fair. It is.
Well, and I mean, you can house rule if you don't like it. I mean,
true. You can house rule anything. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, and they already have the rule that if you bump the table, you reset things and you don't count it. So
that I understand because it has nothing to do with the game. You just accidentally bump the table. It's not an effect causing the island itself to shake and rumble and tremble like an earthquake or something, causing other effects like snakes to come shooting out.
Well, and you don't want to encourage people to bump the table if they're like, oh yeah, I see, I can just...
That's an excellent point.
Yeah. So
excellent point.
I think that's the real reason for it.
Alright, so overall, first impression, I loved this.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I went in skeptical and I left it. This is a fun game. It's a fun, casual game that you can play with the family, play with friends. Like, it's great.
Yeah, and you can just keep playing this game. There's a lot of cards to begin with this game, and especially if you had the add-ons, if you have the other expansions to give you, your personal abilities, and they're not assigned to any character.
No,
there's more of these than there are characters,
which is super cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
because next time you play, just take the ones out that you've already used.
Use different ones, yeah.
You're going to have a lot of replayability with that. Family-wise, this game is just begging for a family fun night.
Oh yeah, kids would love this game.
So we weren't sure. We thought it was like, there it is, 7 right there. We were looking for
7 up. Yep.
7 and up is what the publisher says, and I totally agree with that. Maybe a 6-year-old, but you know your kid better than us. Just remember, there are small parts that can be swallowed that are choking hazards. So always be careful with young children around this game because of that. But other than that, this is a great game for families to engage in.
Absolutely.
I think this is... I don't think this is a great... this is obviously not a great travel game.
No.
Because there are so many tiny pieces.
Yeah.
The setup time is actually fairly fast.
Yeah.
When you're just dealing with the base game and not the extra stuff, it actually is pretty fast for setup. But you have so many small pieces. I would not travel anywhere with this game, afraid that I would come back home and to be something I lost.
Yeah. I think the biggest downside of this game is the reset up time that you're constantly doing with knocking the marbles over. So if you don't like all the delays that's going to cause, that's the one thing that I can see people.
In all fairness, though, we did this with 2 players.
Yeah.
If there was 4 players, that's 4 extra sets of hands
to help reset things up.
And I guess 3 or 4 would be. Maybe you have it sitting here with 5 players. I think 5 would be too many hands reaching in, but 3 definitely, and probably 4 would be helpful as well.
Yeah.
And you just grab whatever's closest to you is what you reset.
Yeah, that's true.
So that might speed up. That might be one of the one of the pitfalls, the downsides of the 2-player game is that it is going to take us longer to reset this thing.
Yeah.
I almost kind of wish that there was a 1-player option that just had to do with like speed, and how fast you got through, and then scoring yourself.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. I mean, we could house rule it and we could do it, but I think that'd be interesting. I think they missed the mark on adding that into the rules.
Solo play. Yeah, the solo play thing's big right now, so yeah.
But overall, so we're both in agreement. We had a lot of fun with this game. We thought it was definitely worth our time to play once and more coming up.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna play it again. The rest of the group's excited about it, so it's gonna come out.
Anthony's already hating us in the text because we showed him some of the pictures, and he's already hating on us.
Oh yeah.
Well, he didn't want to come out in the heat, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Stuck it out.
I'll tell you what. T-Bone is lucky.
Yeah.
Because if I was a real Richard, the nickname of Richard, if I was a real Richard, I would pull out Champions of Midgard today on him. I'm not going to do that.
We might. We
might. You'll have to wait and see because we don't know what we're doing for the live stream today.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you very much. You got Oregon Al, Big Johnny G, and this was our 20-sided shots, our first impression of, right out of the box, a Fireball Eye. Oh, the last thing, look at this box.
Yeah. I saw that. It's flexible.
This is horrible.
Yeah. I was like, oh, did you feed it? No. It just comes with kind of.
They took a lot of flack for this.
Yeah, it's kind of cheap cardboard.
Anyway, so that is our first impression of Fireball Island, the Curse of Vul-Kar. And I can't wait to get this in front of the rest of the group.
Oh, yeah.
And do a live playthrough for everyone. That's going to be awesome. But for right now, my friends, we are out of here!